paper and put it down on the machine.
Say that they are still having what?
Air raid drills.
What is this?
Air raid drill was during the war, I guess.
Yeah.
They had air raid drills. A siren would go off. The teachers had to run over and pull the shades, and we had to get under our desks. And then by the time I got into, there was always some war going off, and in California we were close to the Pacific, so we were always at risk from the Koreans, or, you know, when my brother and sister were in school, it was Japanese, I guess. And I think it got to be a habit, the air raid drills.
Oh, we had tornado drills.
Oh, well, we had air raid drills. And, but we ducked under our desks, and you had to go out in the hall. Yeah, and I think when I got a little bit older, we had to go out in the hall and sit. We didn't have the storms that you have here. Let's see, what else? Technology and learning. They didn't have as many things at home that you could learn. And the books, we had workbooks, spelling workbooks especially, and math workbooks. I remember those. I loved workbooks, and I had such a hard, I loved them so much. See, I still use them. I would do them so much in advance the teachers would get mad. Can you imagine? And they encouraged us to do puppet shows and things like that. So I love that.
Yeah.
And we performed a lot. They encourage more performance, I think, in those days than they do now, because we didn't have so much, you know, television and radio and things like that. There were certain programs you listened to or watched, but there weren't so many, especially for children. So in school, for English and history and things like that, we put on programs. Even the little tiny kids, like Mary Jane said, the things she remembers best are the when they got up to entertain. And talking to my mother and my mother-in-law and my grandparents, they remember best, or they used to recite poetry. And in the old days, poetry was the big thing. Form of entertainment, and instead of so much, and they had a lot of music too. People used to get together in people's homes and sing, and a lot of the songs had historical references, and they learned history, and even I did. You learned a lot about history through music, and we learned, and I taught my children their numbers and their alphabet and words and history through music, or through different entertainment, because it stuck with them better.
Instead of just simple memorization.
Instead of, like, when I was in school on, like, history, when I was in school, we didn't do so many of the songs and stuff. I had one teacher that taught us about the different wars through music, but that was her own innovation, because the school didn't do that. She did. Mrs. Bowers, I remember her. It was, we couldn't keep the wars straight, you know. There seemed to be so many wars to remember. She taught us songs from the different wars, so we
they do that with the books of the Bible too. There's a song.
No, but I mean, she taught us over there, and which war that went with, and then there was one for the Boer War even, and
B-O-E-R war.
You know, and she just had different songs that would remind us about different eras in history. Oh, Susanna, and some of the children's rhymes that you learn. You know, remember, like, ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross. Well, all those little rhymes, I didn't know it until I got to be an adult, but they had historical references to different kings and things like that.